No. Well, first graphic, yes. It'll be fine. It's all. I know exactly what's what, so we're good to go. Let's rage.
That's better.
Those lights should be in by next Tuesday. I tried to do Amazon Prime, and it's like said no.
Are we gonna do LeBron on the intro?
Yes. So don't worry about it. I'll take care of it. I see all the graphics of what's what. Oh shit! Can you reach the record or no? Word. All righty. Lovely. Ready to rock?
I'm ready.
I know you are. Here we go. Whoa. Welcome, everybody, to another episode of the Chop Sports Daily, coming to you live from the Flipping Made Easy studio right here in Matawan, New Jersey. Your host, Sturch and Gooch. And, of course, it's another great Tuesday because it's not a victory Monday or Tuesday for the Giants, for me at least. I mean, we kind of needed them to win overall in the grand scheme of things, but we'll get into the game in a little bit. But, yeah, Giants completely are in disarray. First and foremost, I definitely want to kind of give everybody the rundown of what you got yesterday. If for whatever reason you've ever bought any kind of merchandise from us over at chopsports.shop, whether it be a hoodie or a t-shirt or whatever, a mug, anything, you probably got an email blast yesterday in which we're going to be trying something new. We've been trying to do it for a while, and finally we just got ahead of it, got in front of it really yesterday, and now you're getting email blasts. So congratulations, you've been spammed. But no, it's just going to update you guys on, the daily occurrences of what's going on over here, the podcast, new merchandise drops, stuff like that. Just another way for us to promote the biz. So that's that. First and foremost, again, I definitely want to remind everybody that we are, contributing and trying to help spread the word. Chop Sports trying to get back with my friend Lindsay. She's doing a 2021 Family Gift Assistance Project. Be sure to go check that out. There's a link within Chop Sports on how you can help families in need this holiday season, whether it be Thanksgiving, Christmas, whatever, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, whatever the heck you celebrate. Go check it out. It's a great cause. And, yeah, that's that. So, Gooch, how are we doing, bro?
I'm doing better than I was yesterday. Mondays are rough on me, and especially after a Packer loss, but Mondays, bro.
It's all listen, I love Jimmy. But Jimmy was here from 10:50 or whenever he got here, 10:45 until about 6. That was a full day of Jimmy Palumbo, and I love talking to Jimmy Palumbo. He makes me laugh probably harder than anybody I know. But that's a long day for him, and we got nothing done. I mean, I got the mail thing done.
Got some things.
I got the mail thing done, but
I shouldn't say I got nothing done. I got 4 podcasts done, but it's by the time the 4th one rolls around, I'm like, dude, I'm not built for this. I'm not built to edit things at 9 a.m. in the morning the next day after it should have been done the day before. It's just a long day. Mondays are whack.
Guys chiming in already. Jack's chiming in. Good morning, fellas. You guys got to do your show the entire time Greeny is on. So he's not a big fan of Greeny over on ESPN. Look, those shows, they're on. I got to the gym this morning, which I really feel good about, finally getting back and into somewhat of a groove. I mean, now that I'm up even earlier than I've ever been before in my life, not on purpose, just, I wake up. But I see that they blast that up on the big projector screen, his whole show. And it's just like the topics they come up with, they're great. Don't get me wrong,
bro,
but it's
you need to send them a link.
They're force fed, bro. They are so force fed on what they're supposed to talk about and what stance they're supposed to take on. Because if they both agree, then that's not a topic. You know what I mean? And they can't debate and they can't do click things and all that stuff.
When we have disagreements, it happens organically.
Yes, absolutely.
Which is how it's supposed to be.
Speaking of disagreements, great Tuesday. I thought it was a terrific Tuesday. You're right. I did write that in the description that it is a terrific Tuesday, but I must have said great Tuesday. The A coming in from more than likely Ashley. I mean, that's just the way she greets, I think. No LeBron against the Knicks. We'll talk about that. Scoop, bring you green hat. Scoop, bring your green hat. So he's coming out. All right,
that's
fine.
The new Scoop Espo, I would imagine.
Oh, my boy, Chase Aguilar coming in. What's up, Sturch? Ready for the Cowboys Thanksgiving football? Still think this team is going to be fine? I think so. We'll talk about that as we go. I am recording a brand new episode of the All About the Star today, in which I'm going to be sitting down with a writer from the Raiders. So I'll kind of collab with them to get us all set for that. Here comes Jimmy Palumbo. I know this has to be him. Giants stink, Jones stinks, Gettleman stinks, Rutgers hoop stinks. That has to be Jimmy Palumbo. So good morning to Jimmy. Good morning to everybody. Have to start off with one or a couple things before we get into the game and into the meat and potatoes for what we want to talk about. The suspensions were dished out for LeBron James and his fella that he fought. What's his name again? I keep forgetting his name.
I forget.
It's unbelievable.
It's terrible of me.
No, it's not even terrible. It's just that means he's not,
it means he's
as relevant.
It means he's on the Pistons.
It means he's on Detroit. Yes. So
for now.
What was that?
For now.
Right. Until he gets shipped out.
Well,
why would he get shipped out?
Why would he get shipped out?
I wonder why he would get shipped out.
Bring that up. I'm going to do my best.
Hold on. Let me just preface this by saying that the suspensions are LeBron 1 game. Isaiah Stewart gets 2 games. So for his actions, for his mowing over coaches, for his antics, for his malice in the palace.
I'm surprised LeBron got suspended at all. I don't.
They got to set some kind of example. They have to.
The only reason why it's at this point, I think it's because it's LeBron. Because if they didn't suspend LeBron in this situation, it would be because he's LeBron. He didn't get suspended. But honestly, that happens a lot in basketball. Just a placement is what got LeBron suspended. The fact that he drew blood and the guy reacted the way he did made the situation a lot worse.
Jimmy Palumbo shining back in saying, oh, and now you're bashing me for staying there. He'll be out by 2 p.m. Actually, I gave you the benefit of the doubt. We're going to go over a new schedule today. We have you out at 3:30. So, I mean, if you can get out of here by 3:30, that'd be great because Gooch does, in fact, host Chopheads MMA, which they recorded last night with Tommy D. Tommy D was here by 4:50, so he was ready to roll. But then we couldn't because we had so much other stuff to do.
Yeah, I was here till like 9:30.
Jimmy Palumbo's show is very involved, as he would say.
I still haven't eaten, by the way. It was like 11:45. We finished the daily show. I was like, I'm going to order food. And then things got away from me, and it's now 11 the next day, and I'm still starving. So.
Yeah. So, all right. So I won't do the live show. Oh, Jesus Christ. Now, is he already bottle of wine deep already? Is he into his self-deprecating Jimmy Palumbo ways here on a terrific Tuesday?
Let's just move on to
moving on. So,
situation.
all right. So we're in the mix with LeBron. He gets 1 game. Stewart gets 2. The real highlight, and Gooch, I think you're more, what's the word I'm looking for? Cultured than me. You're in tune.
I'm more inclined to translate this tweet.
If I read this, I would ruin it. Here's the tweet. Now, who is this from?
Off. This is from No Chill Gilbert Arenas, one of the
Gilbert Arenas. Agent Zero.
Follow him on Instagram. Agent Zero. Follow him on Instagram. Follow him on Twitter because this dude is a legend.
He's fantastic.
He's a legend.
Try your very best. Now, this is in regards to the LeBron James and Stewart
Isaiah Stewart incident. And this is a tweet or an Instagram post directed directly at Isaiah Stewart. So he says, "Hey brother, I'm gonna just be real with you here. Pack all your shit, pack your winter jackets and your boots because your ass is going to be traded to Budapest somewhere. I don't know what type of bummerclot blood got in your eye, but you can't charge at the king like that on TV. 100. You will be drug tested expeditiously." And that's his TI voice right there. Just to make sure that rage ain't drug related. We don't do that in the NBA. You probably haven't read the memo on fight attempts in the NBA. Number 1, don't square up with King James or Easy Money Sniper ever.
Easy Money Sniper is KD.
Yeah.
Okay.
Number 2, them light-skinned boys, Steph Curry and Klay Thompson on Golden State, don't even let your chest get puffy towards them or your ass is done. Number 3, only 2 teams that's allowed to fist fight without any real penalties is wherever Rondo plays and wherever CP3 is at. I would like to personally add Pat Bev to that list. Number 4, wait till your teammates get around and then act tough for the crowd. Sell it like WWE. That's about it. Good luck moving forward, my man. P.S. This was worse than the locker room in the. Wait, this is worse than the gun in the locker room situation. And for those that don't know, Gilbert Arenas
brought a gun
into the locker room to point at a teammate over a dice game. Which is also fucking legendary. Adds to the legend.
Legendary.
That is Gil. Some can say this was attempted murder. Only thing that can save you right now is if MJ drops episode 11 of The Last Dance and he edits all Scottie Pippen scenes out, or Vanessa Bryant dropping the Mamba last season, which that would actually be dope. If you think I'm bullshitting, ask Eanes Cantor. He got too close to the king back in 2017, and the Turkish president has been trying to kill him ever since. Now, I edited the last part. He didn't say kill, but that's actually the truth.
Oh, my God. Dude, first of all, this is fantastic. Like, that tweet made this entire fight worth it. You know what I'm saying? Like, that made the fight worth it alone. Agent Zero still around.
Also, show me the lie.
Right.
And then I actually posted, like, there was somebody posted this. I found this in the group yesterday, and somebody posted this, and I said, "Show me the lie." And then right underneath it, and I was like, "I'm pretty sure bringing the gun in the locker room was worse." So that's the only lie.
He brought the this is the best scoop. Like white man can't jump. I'm gonna get my gun. Shoot. Oh, dude, that was one of my favorite. I literally just brought that part up.
When I was reading this, I was actually thinking of AJ. Because I felt like this would have been even better to pass on to AJ because he would have gotten real animated.
I mean, we haven't heard AJ drop bars since the Rock thing, so this would have been really good. So AJ,
this was right up his alley.
This was definitely, see this, I'm telling you, man, the door's open. Come over here, produce the show every so often, and you can get a gem like this for your socials. But yeah, so that tweet alone was great. There was another tweet that dropped yesterday before we get into the New York Football Giants game. Your boy.
Well, it was Connor's tweet first.
It was Conor McGregor. See, here's the problem. All right. I'm gonna preface this.
I'm gonna pull it up.
I'm gonna preface this by saying this: when you are laid up, and I know he's not laid up anymore. I mean, did you see the did anybody see the video of him pacing during the fight, just pacing back and forth?
That wasn't Conor.
It wasn't Conor.
No, that was a Beaver Smash edit or something like that.
That wasn't Conor McGregor.
Connor's not that yoked.
He might be.
No, he's not. That guy was a little more stocky. There was no tattoo. I looked.
Oh man. Anyway, but Conor
I've had to debunk that like 10 times. You're not the only one.
Not that he's laid up anymore. I'm sure he's well into his rehab or he's walking around and stuff, which is fine. But when you're on, this is actually reference to Dope Sick, the podcast you dropped yesterday with Jimmy Palumbo, which is available now. He could be on something because these tweets are rapid and they're ferocious and they're just like I feel like they're proper 12 induced.
I don't think he's headed down the barbiturate opiate path. I would say that he's more of an methamphetamine guy. Conor is off the rails, but honestly, look, this is what's got him to this point in his career. Whether he hasn't won a fight in almost a decade, and he's still the biggest story in MMA. So he's doing something right in that regard. But I just think that he's got a long list of guys that are waiting to beat the shit out of him when he comes back. And the tweet that he put out, or the Instagram post, it's fucking great, bro. It says, me and all you pull-out merchants are not the same. You are bitch made and I'm now steel. Now steel, referring to the titanium fucking rod that he just
I'm gonna kick you in the bloody head with my steel leg, my foot.
This game has just begun. Know all that my enemies are of similar age and experience, and for this reason I hereby declare war. This war is forever. Whatever the fuck he
and your
said.
Boy
and Nate just with a one-liner.
Nate Diaz comes out of left field.
War was declared a long time ago, and you were already killed. With a picture of him standing over Conor, and he was. And honestly, the thing that makes this tweet by Nate so great isn't the fact that he 10-7'd him with the fucking actual response, because that was a 10-7.
That was a 10-7.
You got dropped twice, yes, Conor.
Twice.
It actually might be a TKO in the first round stoppage, just with the small grammatical error that adds charm to Nate's post. He gets like one. Only guy in MMA that could have a five word sentence and have a fucking grammatical error.
But it's him.
But it just adds the charm. Gotta love Nate. Nasty Nate. In the
people
building.
Coming in from the comments, which is great. They honestly think after you reading the Agent Zero tweet that we should as a company start doing audiobooks with you just reading them. So, I mean, it's hilarious. Like Nick shines in there along with Scoop saying they would love to hear you, Gooch, read Of Mice and Men. Like Lenny, right? Is that's the same story? All right, that's the right story. I got that.
Rabbits, George.
So anyway, mean tweets all over the place. But we will get into something that Jimmy Palumbo is waiting for us to talk about. And that is the New York Football Giants taking on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers last night. I get the bet right. I get the pick right, at least, because I know you went against yourself. And
I went against myself, and I guess
you had a feeling. Or did you reference the sauce?
No. I referenced the sauce.
Oh, of course you did.
So first quarter, first half.
He's killing it. I mean, again, I'm not tired of it, because for him it's great, but check marks galore. The kid hits a lot of bets. Go to thesaucenetwork.com, subscribe to him, because he's the guy that's going to win you some cheddar. But anyway, so last night I picked the Bucs to win outright because I knew that Tom Brady was angry. I knew they were going to get back to their thing, and
I have to stop you for a second.
Okay.
It's KyleKerms.com.
What did I say?
SauceNetwork.com.
My fault. All right. The KyleKerms.com. Sorry. You probably paid a whole lot of money for that.
I don't want to have to interrupt again, because I know you're about to get into the Giants game.
That's
but
fine.
Weren't we? When you read that message from Kyle yesterday, did you think the same thing as me?
That he was on the NFL Network?
He was like, I was just on the NFL Live show, and I was like, wait. Like, he was like, and then when I got off, they talked shit about me, and I was like, wait.
Right, twice. There was
like,
two.
so wait.
There was two pauses that
Then
I
he
had.
said, "Can I come on Wednesday to talk shit back?" And I was like, "Yeah,
Yeah,
like you
of
can
course.
anyway."
Sure, you can do it. You can at Susie Colbert.
But then I realized I was like,
Pregame
"So,
show.
dude, like you just got interviewed by like Chris Berman." And
Yeah.
he was like, "No,
back,
it's not them."
That was actually amazing on his regard. He did say that somebody went at him. He's going to have the platform tomorrow on the show. Not only going to be previewing 3 games that are coming up to you on Thursday, but we will have the sauce, the pick bish, one little happy family here for our own little Friendsgiving over here on a Wednesday. So, but anyway, back to the game. So it's very simple to say the Giants stink. That is a Jimmy Palumbo line. He thinks half the league stinks, but the Giants really do stink. They're in trouble when it comes to this franchise quarterback they think they have. Because Daniel Jones, I don't care how many times he's shown that he's competent and he can get stuff done. He ain't it, folks. I mean, if you're a Giants fan, you can't be confident in this. You cannot be happy about this. And the worst part is
Giants need a quarterback.
All the draft picks that you have in the world coming up in 2022. I'm not a massive college guy, but from what I've read, the first quarterback doesn't get taken until like 10. So what does that say about the quarterback class?
I read an article yesterday that was interesting because I was wondering. I said, you know, we've had at least one blue chip guy that come along each of the last 3 seasons, at least 2 seasons. I'm not sure 3 years ago who was the best quarterback in the draft. We'll think
3 years ago?
Yeah.
That was Daniel Jones's draft, was it not?
Yeah, but who was the best quarterback?
Josh Allen?
Josh Allen. Was that the same
Oh,
draft?
no, it was not the same draft. He's 1 year older, actually.
Yeah.
So it was 2018. Shit, I don't even know.
I don't know.
I can't think off the top of my head.
There really isn't this clear-cut guy that's even contending for the number 1 pick. But as draft approaches, I guarantee a quarterback definitely makes his way into the top 5. But I did read that
always happens.
That there's going to be 5 guys picked in the first round, arguably, maybe 6 quarterbacks picked in the first round of this year's draft, even though there is not any projected to go in the top 10.
Even though they're not ranked as high. So you're going to have to take the risk. You're going to have to Justin Fields this. You're going to have to Mac Jones this and find yourself a new guy because Daniel Jones, there's been times where I'm watching him and I'm like, there's like the plays that are called. And this goes to my boy, Jason Garrett, too, man. Like, there are plays called that there is no success rate.
It was Kyler Murray. Thank you, Nick Shine.
Sorry. There's no success rate here. You know what I mean? And actually, you know what, Nick Shine, glad you brought that up. Kyler Murray was drafted, and the Cardinals had Josh Rosen. So the fact that the Giants have Daniel Jones, this is going to be the same thing where there could be a little switcheroo here where they draft the first round quarterback. But anyway, Daniel Jones in itself is just – he's not good. And I don't like saying that because there's a lot of quarterbacks that are probably not like on the same level as him. He's got wheels. We get it. He can run, but he's just when you watch him against Tom Brady head to head, it's like it's not even day.
Yes.
So bad.
Tom Brady does that to a lot of people, but when we're looking at certain plays, it's like all that bullshit aside, he doesn't have a great line. He hasn't had the best luck with injuries. You could say that his coaching hasn't been up to par, whatever you want to say about Daniel Jones. But all that shit aside, when I see him under pressure, right, and he turns and he throws it to literally anybody.
Lamar
else.
Jackson too, by the way, in that draft.
Yeah, but he wasn't the guy. He was the last pick of the first round. And honestly, some people thought that Baltimore reached on him there.
And shout out to Chase Aguilar. Whatchamacallit, Giants could have had Mac Jones, and they did not. So the Cowboys should send him a gift basket. That's definitely true. Sorry, I interrupted.
Let's be real.
Look, what?
Mac Jones is so lucky that he's not on the Giants right now.
Oh, my God. He would be struggling with Joe Judge and Chasing
There's
Garrett.
no reason to think that Mac Jones would actually succeed in that team.
Awful.
He's in a situation right now where it's tailor-made for him. They signed 14 tight ends in the offseason just for Mac Jones to succeed. So
Correct.
But Daniel Jones, he's throwing the ball to the other team for no reason. Did you see that pick? That was the worst
pick. To the lineman?
That's the only play I need to see.
That was a screen pass, apparently.
Yeah, and
like
you're supposed to be under pressure when you throw a screen.
Yes,
that's
because
the whole
linemen
idea
go away
of a screen.
Right.
And he was so nervous that he threw it to the defense for no reason. And
Wrong
the only
color.
guy that was close was a tackle. It wasn't even like there was a guy that was an eligible receiver close. And understanding that it's Tampa Bay on the road, you want to give him a pass, but how many passes is he going to get?
Yeah.
Most of his passes go to the other team.
Big prediction over here. I kind of like it, actually. I mean, I don't like it for Dallas because of the division. My prediction from Nick Shine is that the Giants trade 2 1s and Jones to Seattle for Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson, I mean, Seattle doesn't know what to do with draft picks, clearly.
All right.
So-
I'm not gonna buck the idea because Russell Wilson might.
Why would the Seahawks take Daniel Jones?
But if Russ Wilson gets traded, it's going to be for a lot more than what the package that you just said. 2 1s, bro. That's like what isn't that what the safety got? Jamal Adams netted 2 1s or something.
That was
crazy.
the biggest fleece job.
So
like,
look,
for all my wrestling fans,
Russell Wilson will demand the biggest haul in history of sports.
For all my wrestling fans out there, when Seth Rollins cashed in at WrestleMania and they called it like the heist of the century, the Jets pulling off that trade for Jamal Williams for all those picks, that was the heist of the century. Anyway, I won't go into all that, but my God. But yeah, Danny Dimes looking bad coming in. AJ Basco and Danny Dimes was a check down god last night. Still was throwing picks. Yes, it's very hard to throw an interception when you're checking the ball down. It's unbelievable. Like, it was that bad. You know who I feel bad about is Saquon Barkley. You know, this kid is not.
I've been a Saquon guy, but
I feel bad, bro. He's never gonna succeed under this regime. Joe Judge, Jason Garrett, Daniel Jones is your quarterback, and no regard for the offensive line. I know Joe Thomas's fat ass caught a touchdown last night.
Matt Nagy got fired.
What?
Yeah, Jamie Silverberg, resident Bears. He's probably a nice guy, but I'm gonna call him a Bears.
He seems like a nice guy. Jamie will get that reference. But wait a minute. Breaking news: Matt Nagy's last Bears game will be Thanksgiving. First coach in team history to get fired midseason.
Is this a prediction?
This might be a reality. No, we got a Woj bomb, or dude, a lot of breaking news coming up now. Maybe not a Woj bomb, but maybe AJ's calling it a Woj bomb. But if this is breaking news right now, that it's not 100% yet, he said. So, I mean, look, they're chanting "Fire Nagy" at the Bulls game last night. So the city of Chicago is brutal. There's a press conference scheduled today, according to Jamie. That could be a thing. And the Bears. That's weird to
Andy
me.
Dalton's got the start. They already ruled Fields out.
Yes, they did.
But
So it'll be Andy Dalton versus what? Goff, maybe?
No, Boyle.
Boyle's going to start again.
Probably
oh, my God. What a ratings absolute nightmare. You're going to watch. It's going to be in the background of everybody's cooking. But Jesus Christ, what a terrible game. Bless there. Says so NBC Sports. All right. Well, look, there's a lot of things going down right now. Maybe Matt Nagy is out. And look, is it warranted? Do you think it's warranted right now?
Yep.
And at this moment?
Yep.
Do they truly think they have a shot for this year?
Nope.
Then why are they doing it now?
For that exact reason. Let's get.
Why don't you just ride it out?
Ride what out?
The season.
For what? You get a new regime in there.
Human being.
Nah, man, you got to get the coach out of there. If the players aren't responding, you have a lot of football left. There's 2 months under that guy. He's toxic. If he's a lame duck, get him the fuck out. Give the players somebody that they're at least going to come to want to work for. Right now, I don't think the players want to work for this guy.
Oh my God! At his son's football game, they're chanting "Fire Nagy." That is some brutal shit. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
Yeah, I don't think that he's going to make it to Thanksgiving. He'll be home for dinner on Thanksgiving, man.
So you don't think so? He gets fired within the next 2 days.
Look, bro, could you imagine getting told, "Look, we're going to fire you"?
I don't. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If it's going to happen, it's going to happen today.
Yeah, there's no way.
Like, there's no way they're like, "Hey, by the way, go get him, Chipper," because then I'm putting the house on the Bears to win the game.
So we were talking about Saquon.
Going for the skipper.
Fuck me.
Sorry. Yes, we were talking about Saquon. Rudely interrupted by Bears stuff. But no, good stuff. This is why these listeners and our chop people are they're on top of things. But anyway, Saquon Barkley. I feel bad for him because I don't think he's going to be able to succeed under this regime. The Giants have not addressed their offensive line ever. You know, like it's something they disregarded.
He's part of the big reason why they didn't address their offensive line. They took him 2nd overall. That was the biggest bust pick in history of football. You can't take a running back that high. I get major.
Dallas took Zeke at like 5 or 6 or something.
I still think that's a bad pick, regardless
of how his career who they could have had.
Probably a bunch of guys better that would have been better for the Cowboys than Zeke.
You ready?
Yeah.
Jalen Ramsey.
Well, he would be on his 3rd team by now, so doesn't really matter.
I don't know. Maybe he finds a home. But anyway, we got Diggs, so we're fine. But anyway, so
the more I watch Trent Richardson, the more I watch Saquon Barkley, the more I see Trent Richardson. He just runs into the back of the fucking center's ass. And even when he makes a nice move, he falls face first into the turf. He can't get out of his own way, this guy. He looks like a very, very athletic Big Ben when he gets on the fucking perimeter. Honestly.
That's terrible. But look, man, it is a business. Now, do you think Saquon's future is there?
No.
You think he's out?
No. Unless Saquon's willing to take a lot less money, because he's one of these guys.
Is he going to be one of those guys that he'll get market value? Or no?
He's not going to get a big extension as some big money free agent. He hasn't stayed healthy. And when he is healthy, honestly, bro, how many times have you seen, and now Giants fans could probably agree with me on this one or not, but Saquon, he's just dancing around too much. Booker and even last year, Gallman, these guys made the Giants a better team, as weird as that sounds, because they hit the fucking hole. When Booker was getting the ball yesterday, it was night and day to me. It's like, all right, the Giants offensive line does suck, but being that they suck,
you saw it last night.
Stop dancing around in the backfield.
There was one drive where Booker had 2 back-to-back 10-yard carries.
Yeah, hit the fucking hole, Barkley, bro. You're a load. Hit the hole, get some positive yards, and then make things happen on the second level. You don't need to dance around in the backfield. These guys are too athletic.
Yeah, he's dancing around. He looks like he's at the tail end of like Emmett's career. Emmitt Smith at the end of his career would go east and west, back and forth, and he would never actually hit the actual hole and then just wind up with no yards. But whatever. I mean, look, as a Cowboy fan, I'm going to sit here and say, go ahead, and in fact, please give Daniel Jones an extension for the rest of his life. This is what I want. But under Gettleman, I don't know if these guys are going to make these moves. I don't know. Gettleman's got to go too.
I feel like Gettleman's got to go.
Yeah, bro. I mean, again, one of these guys that have gotten a pass over the last couple of years where they're like, all right, we'll fire the coach, but we won't fire the guy that are putting these players on the field. Well, Gettleman's that guy.
Let's look at all the failed draft picks for Gettleman. Daniel Jones, Barkley. I think Barkley's a worse pick than Daniel Jones, personally. I just think because Daniel Jones is in a situation where it's harder behind the no offensive line. And really, the quarterback is like, you get it. You can make the case for it. It's like, all right, if he pans out, it's worth it. But a running back, even if he is good, it doesn't matter. Because like, even if your running back is good at the second pick, paying a guy that much and just putting that stock, that much stock into a player at that position, when you see injury. How many games has Saquon played for them? 20, if that. 25.
It's been, it's very low. It's a low count.
It's a bust pick through and through.
But anyway, flipping to the other side, coming to you live from the Flipping Made Easy studio, is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Now, they look like really good at football, so they're going to be stride for stride. Right now, they sit at 7-3. They're, on top of the AFC South. Same record as the Cowboys, 1.5 a game under the Packers.
Same record as the Rams, who the Cowboys would meet. The
Cowboys are in the Cowboys in the 4th seed right now, which is like just makes me ill to my stomach knowing that it'll be McCarthy versus McVay at AT&T. Get out of here! No way. Got to win games. But shout out to the Eagles fans last night. There's a lot of you guys coming out at me on my Twitter at Dave Sturchio, which they think that the Eagles can run the table, finish 10-6. And the Dallas Cowboys spiral out of control after a loss to the Chiefs, and the Chiefs, the Eagles win a division.
Well, that's not going to happen.
I mean, that's a little silly, no? I mean,
I think the Eagles can legitimately overtake the Saints. They obviously just beat the piss out of the Saints. The Saints right now are sitting at the 6th seed, and the Minnesota Vikings are at the 7. If you look at the current NFC playoff picture, and it sucks because right now the Packers would play the Saints, who we got spanked by, but that's not the same Saints team.
That's not even close to the Saints. The Cowboys got the Saints in 2 weeks. I'm not as worried as I used to be.
If you look at it, the 6th and the 7th seed are the two of the teams that the Packers lost to, right? Want both of those games back, so either one will do. We got a big topic to get into, but we're going to get into it after the break, after a word from Absolute Eyewear. Janine actually texted me today. She sent me a picture of her drinking a Bloody Mary at the airport, but under that Bloody Mary was in fact the New York Post, proving to the world that still there are people that get the Post. So Janine, this obviously, thank you always for your advertisements, and Absolute Eyewear is one of our favorite, if not our favorite company. That's along the ride for us. So when we come back, big discussion on something that was dropped in Shop Sports yesterday, and we'll get into it right after this.
Myself and Gooch are both getting a little older. One of the first things to go is your vision. Thank goodness for our hookup over at Absolute Eyewear in Woodbridge, New Jersey, right on Main Street next to the train station. They have glasses for all ages, all budgets. They have safety glasses, sports glasses. They are a full-service powerhouse offering eye exams and even free lenses for the kids. They work with BCBS, AAA, AARP, giving massive discounts. They're open 5 days a week, closed on Wednesdays and Sundays. Call 732-326-3937 to get your first pair of Ray-Ban, Burberry, Coach, Polo, you name it, they got it. Go see Craig and Janine right now.
All righty. Thank you guys, of course, for joining us here on the Chop Sports Daily, coming to you live from the Flipping Made Easy studio right here in Matawan. Your boys, Sturch and Gooch. I've got a pencil in my hand, and I don't know how to not use it. Like, I'm just like waving it around like it's a magic wand. And this is the first pencil that I've used. I have my notes here to my right. I can't remember the last time I used pencil.
How about this? I was cleaning out the back room the other day, and I found that pencil, and I threw it in the garbage. And like 20 minutes later, I was like, you know what? We don't have a pencil here, so I actually fished back into the garbage. So you have a garbage pencil in your hand.
Well, that's good. As I just like wipe my face and stuff like that. I just don't remember the last time I used a pencil ever. I don't know. Everything seems to be pen nowadays. But anyway, massive stuff going down yesterday in regards to baseball. I know we're in the midst of football season, and I know there's college bowl games coming up, and the NBA is in full swing. But MLB yesterday dropped its brand new 2022 ballot. All right. So here it is. We're going to bring it up for you for reference, and we're going to talk a lot about it because, again, last year, nobody got in. The year before that was the Jeter and Larry Walker year. So nobody getting in last year because of the rule. Remember, you have to get 75% of the vote. Here is the new ballot. Okay, this is the 2022 ballot on who's on it. So, I mean, I don't have to read them all, but the names are the same.
I'll read off two different lists. Not going to read off the entirety of this list, but there is 13 new players added to the list, and I'm going to ask you a question. I'll ask the question before I read the list. Are any of these guys to you first ballot Hall of Famers?
Go ahead.
You know, there's
ballot.
A couple cases. First ballot Hall of Famers.
So this is the list that dropped yesterday.
The new guys added to the list right here: Carl Crawford, Prince Fielder, Ryan Howard, Tim Lincecum, Justin Morneau, Joe Nathan, David Ortiz, Jonathan Papelbon, Jake Peavy, AJ Pierzynski, Jimmy Rollins, Mark Teixeira, and our boy Alex Rodriguez.
There's your first ballot Hall of Famer. Alex Rodriguez.
Not going to get in.
Well, listen, we'll get into that argument. Alex Rodriguez is a first ballot Hall of Famer. I don't care what you say. We'll talk about the rest of them. I almost have a case for, and it's going to pain me to say this, David Ortiz. Like,
he's one of the best. Ballot?
Yeah, I mean, the guy's got numbers out the ass. I mean, there's nowhere to describe.
He's never played in the field once.
I know, so but neither did Edgar Martinez.
I think
he played third.
Well, where is he? Is he in the Hall of Fame?
Edgar?
Is he?
I thought he got in a couple years ago.
Is he?
As a DH. I'm pretty sure. I mean, I could be wrong.
I don't think so.
Well, if that's the case, there's the thing is right there, the ballot. So if he's not on there, then he's in.
Well, we'll get to that now because no, you don't just remain on the ballot for all eternity. So there's four guys.
Then he was definitely not on the ballot long enough for him to get kicked off.
So there's four guys now. Well, when I say these four names, you're going to disagree with that statement. There's four guys now that are coming off the ballot after this season. All four guys, if you look at their career in a vacuum without all the steroid allegations.
That's unfortunate because I know that's where people are going to go with this, but go ahead.
Then there's four guys that come off the ballot: Sammy Sosa, Roger Clemens, Barry Bonds, and Curt Schilling. Now, these guys aren't players from the 70s and 80s. These are guys from that generation, the same generation, if not a later generation than Edgar. You know, so if Edgar's not in,
Martinez was inducted in 2019.
Okay.
So yes.
So
I knew he was.
Thank you, AJ, for that. But he was nowhere close to a first ballot Hall of Famer. And honestly, I just think that first ballot it's hard to do.
All right. So this was brought up. I'm pretty sure it was Hawaii Mike that posted this yesterday. Sparked a lot of debate. Here's the problem. In 2021, now you just rolled off a couple guys that are going to be falling off after this year, right? So you didn't say Curt Schilling, right?
I did.
Okay, so Curt Schilling last year, 71% of the vote. That's alarming because he needed just 4% more to get in. Can he get 4%? Maybe, right? Here's the problem. Barry Bonds got 61% last year. There's no way that guy's picking up 14% of the ballot this year. Yeah, Barry Bonds won't be a Hall of Famer, and that's disgusting.
Will not be a Hall of Famer. Roger Clemens will not be a Hall of Famer.
Clemens, 69%. No, another 61%er.
Sammy Sosa hit 60 home runs in like 3 seasons straight. And now he's white.
And now he's bleached to hell. But I don't understand. Can anybody have that conversation and say Barry Bonds is not a Hall of Famer? Because after this year, it's over.
Well, the reality of it is he's not going to get in.
That's insane.
The reason being is if there was a voters, I hate to be morbid, but once all these Hall of Fame writers die off, and then they get a new generation of writers in, then you might see these guys get on the Veterans Committee. I don't even know how that works, to be honest. I'm sure.
I think the douche known as Francesa is one of the voters.
Oh my God. Anyway,
which is nuts.
Which is
how does he get
case in point,
right?
Because Mike Francesa, he'll never vote for certain guys because he's a fucking
Maybe
dork.
he'll vote for A-Rod.
But I think that there's a very, very high likelihood that nobody gets in again.
No, so like, I'm going to bring up the 2022 ballot again. It's up there just for reference. I guess if you're using this Alex Rodriguez steroid thing as a not reason to get in, same thing with Ortiz. Never popped. Ortiz never popped, right? Or did he admit to it? I forget. Like, there's so much.
He was a 100% a juice head.
Of course, but I'm saying, like, now look at this. Now, any of these guys, Todd Helton.
I have a list of guys that I think, like, Manny won't get in. Manny should get in. I have a list.
Wait, Manny won't get in?
Manny won't get in. The only guy I could say that I would.
You think it's steroids too, or you just don't think he's got the numbers?
Yeah, Manny's numbers are there. It's the steroids for a fact.
God.
Manny's the third best right-handed hitter I've ever seen in my life. Pujols is first. I think A-Rod's second, but people will bash me for that. But I think Pujols is the best right-handed hitter maybe in history of baseball. Maybe Hank Aaron, but we'll see. We'll see where they stack up. But if I was looking at who I think deserves to be in, Todd Helton, based on the fact that he did it clean in an era where everyone else was cheating. So you look at Todd Helton's numbers, but then he has the Coors Field effect. So his numbers were definitely inflated by that aspect of things. And, you know, obviously all the steroid guys, I think they should be in. None of them are going to get in. And clearly a Hall of Famer to me is probably if he's not the best center fielder who was also on this list, but
Andrew Jones?
Torrey Hunter is the best center fielder of the
Hunter.
generation, but Andrew Jones was way better than Torrey Hunter as a baseball
Andrew
player,
Jones,
as far as I saw it.
Straight nasty, but I don't know if he gets in on the first go.
It's not. I don't think it's his first time on though.
Andrew Jones
has been on the ballot for a while. Yeah, he's been retired for longer than 5 years.
Oh.
Andrew Jones has a 50 home run season. He's maybe 15, 14 Gold Gloves in center field, and then you can make a case for a guy like Omar Vizquel, who was, you know, if it wasn't for Ozzie Smith, he might have been the greatest fielding shortstop in history of the game.
Next to Jeter.
He did end up compiling nice cumulative stats over his career, but his batting average is so low. Like, you know, when you play 38 years and you have 100 hits a year, you're going to approach 3,000 hits, and he kind of did. But Johnny Trino also deserves to be on the list.
Can you know, it's a great actually side conversation to have, a Chop Sports Hall of Fame right now. Like, if I, like, based off of personalities, based off of comments and really good stuff, you know, that they put within the group for people to share, and people that are podcast hosts here. So yes, Jimmy Palumbo, first ballot. Based off, listen, he's only been here for 36 weeks.
There's a lot of out of the studio issues with Palumbo, so I think that might affect him in the eyes of the voters. Right?
The voters are you and I.
The voters are you and I.
That's
so
it.
There's a lot of out of studio issues with Jimmy.
Out of studio issues. Do you think he's on any kind of performance enhancing?
I think he's on a Bordeaux, which is like a white wine that goes good with dinner.
So you're saying that these late night texts and calls that we get from him are just detrimental to his Hall of Fame bid, is what we're saying. So, like, all right. So actually, yeah, I was going to say first ballot, Johnny Machado, like 100% first ballot Hall of Famer.
Yeah. Anybody that's paying us, like, you want to grease me to get in the Hall of Fame, by all means.
So Joe Pizzamenti out there, good for you,
We have
bro.
an empty hallway. There's actually nobody in the Hall of Fame. Whoever is the highest bidder is the first inductee.
I will. You know what? I'm just like selling our souls right now on the air, saying, like, if you're the highest bidder, the studio will be renamed after Flipping Made Easy's up. So Flipping Made Easy is done next year. The highest bidder will be. It could be literally coming to you live from the Nick Shine
we just
Studios.
Came up with a new way to promote. So, like, yeah, we have a Hall of Fame at Chop Sports now. Do you want to sponsor our Hall of Fame? It only costs $11,000.
That's amazing. Oh my God. So here we go. The only performance enhancers Palumbo takes is for older gentlemen. That's not nice. Oh man. Craig does not get in. That's Craig and Johnny, because I literally have, you know what? I have one conversation with Craig, and you know what he said? Text my sister Johnny. So, all right, I don't know who you are, but sure, that was the first one. But anyway, so Chop Sports Hall of Fame, that's a conversation for another day. I will say this about this steroids people. I think there's something to what you said, saying that once these old heads get out of there. But now, do you know the length of time you're allowed to be on the ballot? Like, I know Bonds is falling off. How long has he been on?
If we look at it in realistic terms, I mean,
when did he retire?
You get on the ballot after 5 years.
Correct.
When did Clemens retire? I mean, like, I think you get maybe 7 years. I'm sure Hawaiian Mike is in the room. He'll be able to answer us because he's the resident Hall of Fame guy. He actually went to Jeter's induction ceremony.
Somebody's guessing that all Packer and Cowboy fans will get into the Chop Sports Hall of Fame. Yeah, I know. I say someone. I don't want to give him too much clout. He's going to be giving himself all the nods. Like, yeah, Jimmy Palumbo should definitely get in. He wants a statue outside the place. First of all, Jimmy also
they don't.
What?
Oh, no, I'm getting a phone call.
So all right. I was going to say, what happened? But anyway, it's a shame because if everybody, if you guys are the historians that you claim you are, like as far as the voters are concerned, to me, Barry Bonds had Hall of Fame career numbers before all this shit. Did he not?
Yeah, he did. But that argument is kind of trash. I'm not that it's trash. It's just
call me trash, ladies and gentlemen, right here on the air.
At what point you can't say, look, I agree with you, but he did cheat. So if you're a cheater and that's
never busted,
and that's the basis,
he was never busted.
I mean,
I'm just saying
the eye test is
yes, his eye got, I mean, his head got about this big. Consider, you know what I always reference? Rookie of the Year, the movie. Let me guess, you never saw that one either.
I saw it when I was like 9.
All right. Well, anyway, Barry Bonds gets smoked by Henry Rowengartner, and Barry Bonds is as skinny as like you. Like that's how I'm like, oh my God, that's Barry Bonds.
It's the first time I've been called skinny in over 2 months, Dave. I feel so happy right now.
Just making people right before Thanksgiving too. Nonetheless, I can be like, you know what? You can use an extra meal or two, Chris.
But let's be real. How many cheaters are in the Hall of Fame? A ton.
That's what I'm saying, man. That's what I'm saying.
Baseball is cheating has been a part of the game since day one. And as you all know, I'm here for all of it. I don't mind the cheating. I don't mind all the tacky stuff. If it leads to a
remember spider tack? Is that even a thing anymore?
If it
thing
leads
in the past.
If it leads to an on-field brawl, then I'm even
Which,
more
by
here
the way,
it.
You brought up a great one yesterday when brainstorming in the pre-production of Where Are They Now? What is it called? What happened to that guy?
Whatever happened to that guy?
Yeah, when you talked about Kyle Farnsworth.
Yeah,
what a legend Kyle Farnsworth was. Oh my God! And then Jimmy points out, because Jimmy does all this research for these guys for that show of it, because it's literally like you're at the bar with your friends and you're always like, whatever happened to that guy, right? He does the research. He goes and knee deep in it. Kyle Farnsworth played football after baseball.
Kyle Farnsworth drills you and charges home plate. Right? He doesn't wait. He's the Chuck Norris of middle relievers. He pitched on 39 teams. There's only 31 or 30 teams in baseball. He managed to pitch for 39 and played football. Right?
Right. It's amazing.
I'm not going to give away Jimmy's whole episode. So
it's a great episode. Yeah, check it out.
It doesn't drop until next Friday.
I was going to say, you got a couple in the can. Yeah. Looks like, speaking of cheating, I get cheated on t-shirt sales. Okay, Jimmy, guess what? Next Tuesday, when you wake up at 10:30 in the morning, you can post your own Facebook. You can post all of your own social medias, and then I'll give you your t-shirt sales. Okay, we'll call it like that. We'll call it even after that. Yeah, so that's that. Anyway, this has been another banger of an episode. I wanted to talk about that. I said that last night. I said, or this morning, I forgot. Everything's blending together for me. I wanted to talk about the Hall of Fame because it's one of those things that, the winter meetings are coming up. So now things are going to start, getting emotion. Now, do you think, Chris, that this league it's going to lock out? That's a thing. That's it's probably going to happen, right?
That's almost a guarantee.
And that's because of the collective bargaining agreement between the union and the players.
Yeah, that's typically what these things are over. I think that their deal
doesn't expire, right?
Expires, and they have to fix it. I don't think it's going to get fixed in time, or it might. We'll see. But
now, in the CBA, is that where they can vote on like universal DH and shit like that, or is that baseball?
No, I think that has to do with like the owners' meetings and things like that. I think with this directly involves the players' union and the Major League Baseball and how.
Got it.
And how contracts are going to be going forward and like practice rule, anything that the players might have a gripe about, they better take up in this meeting. And that's what it really comes down to. It's like you have to set your bar real high and then decide throughout the negotiations what you're willing to give up. And it's going to set up the next generation of players on how they're going to get free agent money, like
10 years long, so right?
It is not a small subject. This is a very, very big deal. And
they better get it done. It's not going to be like a little bit. It's not going to push back baseball, right?
Like, I mean, anytime you have these things, there's a very, very high likelihood. I mean, there's a lot of money to be lost. So, and they dealt with a lot of that with the COVID thing. Mm-hmm. I think that the owners and the players union need to step up because baseball, while it has been decent ratings wise, like there's a lot of people out there that are just turned off on baseball with the speed of the game and all the rule changes and the analytics. So I would be hard pressed to see them actually lock out into the season.
Okay.
I don't think it's going to happen.
I guess we'll see. But we want to thank everybody for joining us today. We got lost sound according to Dina. I don't know if that's a thing or not. But anyway, thank you guys for joining us. New podcasts that are available right now is the Jimmy Palumbo Show. Get over there. The Squeaky Bum Time podcast also dropped their new episode after a 1 week hiatus. And then obviously we have so many other things going on today. All About the Star. I'm going to record that. Packers Pulse. They'll be recording that. We didn't talk anything about the USFL. I know. I'm sorry. That will be dropping in the spring, 2022. More football. There will be a New Jersey Generals team, so we're going to have to get a tailgate going.
Get
That was
Reggie White back in action. Steve Young. That's those guys.
Oh, I
Right?
was going to
Didn't
say, I
Herschel
was like,
Walker
Reggie
maybe
White's
play for the
definitely dead,
USFL
bro.
too?
What?
I know, but these guys all bucked the NFL back in the day and actually went to the USFL
Yes.
for a little bit.
Yes. Now, again, I don't know how excited I can get about this, but we'll see. But anyway, first Sturch and Gooch, this has been another episode of the Chop Sports Daily. Be sure to check out our website, www.chopsportsmedia.com. And of course, follow us on social media at Chop Sports Media. Good reference there, Nick Shine, with Herschel Walker.
I literally just said his name out loud.
You did?
Yeah.
Wow.
So fuck you, Nick Shine.
And I guess F me too, because I'm just like,
And you, Dave.
So tomorrow, like we said, Kyle Kerms in studio, the Pick Fish, Dina Simpson in studio. We're going to have a grand old time tomorrow. It is our Friendsgiving episode. Be sure to check us out at 11 o'clock tomorrow. So yes, Dina, listen, I know you're out there listening. Make sure Kyle's on time. I know you're like his agent.
When Kyle came in on that Friday, he was punctual. He was good to go. So
all right. So let's make sure we keep it up.
Coming on time.
Let's keep it up. All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you tomorrow.